Hi everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and we are going to make a journal today using this empty cracker box. So I'm going to go start to finish on making the cover, and we'll see how far we get and maybe have to do a few different parts to the video. But I am excited because today I'm also using beautiful papers from Silvia at Los Mimes Amores. And this is her Be My Valentine paper kit. So this is only some of the pages. It's a huge kit with pretty background pages and pockets, a couple of pages of phrases. Let's see. Look at these. Aren't they cute? The little cupids. Anyway, I haven't even cut everything out, as you can see. I'm just diving right in, and we're gonna see what we come up with to use these really pretty papers. I have a few of the backgrounds prepped to cover the cracker box to make our journal. So if you're interested in these beautiful papers or want to, check out her Etsy shop, I will have the kit linked for you in the description. So let's dive in. We are going to start with this Wheat Thins cracker box. And all I've done is open up both ends, and we are going to, I was just going to show you how I do it. We are going to pull the box open. So I just found where that seam was, and I just ran my finger right down. And what I like about these kind of boxes is this section is going to be our spine. It's going to be the cover. So we're going to trim the rest of this off. Now, you can place it on a paper trimmer. You can use scissors. You can also use a knife, an X-Acto knife. And that's what I'm going to do. And we'll see how I do. I don't think it's too thick. I'm going to do it in sections. And just use my ruler as my straight edge. And just chop off all of these sections. Now, you could keep these. We could make like... maybe we will. We'll cover some of these to make some tall, skinny tags. Or semi-tall anyway. So, again, the big thing, is to get the box prepped. And, get it as even as you can. I didn't do great on that cut. It does help if your X-Acto knife is sharp, and I probably could replace the blade in mine. It's been a while, but we'll just see how we do. We'll just go. Everything is going to get wrapped in the pretty paper that I've printed out, so that'll help cover up some mistakes or little pieces that you might have hanging around. Let's see, if you don't have a cracker box, you could use any kind of chipboard. You could use junk mail, a cereal box, other types of food boxes. I think it's best to use ones like this had a plastic bag that had the crackers in. So the cardboard itself, this chipboard hasn't had any, food on it. So again, something to think about. Now, before I trim this off, I don't like how rough that is. Sometimes I will leave a little bit of the edge to fold over to make the edges a little bit thicker. But I think this time I'm just going to cut them off. The cardboard itself is fairly sturdy. And by the time I cover it, I think it'll be, a semi-hardback. All right, almost through this. I find doing it this way, for some reason, mine is a little bit neater than when I try to lay it on my big paper cutter. But, practice and do what works best for you. If you don't have digital papers to work with, you can also use scrapbook paper. You could use book page. You could use wrapping paper. Just get creative. You could use pages from magazines that you like. This will make a nice bookmark or something. So we'll save it, that one. All right, look at that. How easy and cute This is going to be, I think, a fun one. Now, the thing is here is we do have to start thinking about piecing the paper together. Now, I'm planning to leave mine the size the box is. So my box is 7.5 inches tall. And then the front and back covers are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 7/8. Of course, it's not, yep. Let me just make sure. 4 7/8. Yes, 4 7/8. And then the spine is 2 1/8. Okay, so you could also get chipboard and cut it to this size and then score your spine if you wanted to do it that way. So many options, but this just makes it so easy, and a lot of us have things like this laying around. But usually what takes me the longest is deciding what I want to, what I want to make my cover out of, and what is this going to look like. I am going to use 2 pages. So I do want to find 2, and I think I want to use these warm toned ones. I really like the ledger paper and all the handwriting, but it's a little cool, and I'll use those for something else, and I may even use them for a signature, for pages and the signatures and things, but we'll get there. For right now, I'm thinking I want one of these, and like I said, I didn't print all of them, but I think one of these with the flowers that looks like a country rose to me. This one was kind of calling my name too. If I turn the paper this way, I don't really have enough to wrap, so we are going to use it in portrait orientation. I think I'm just going to use these 2. This one coordinates really well too, though, with the hearts. Let's do that. These 2. Okay, we're going to set these aside so we can clear off our workspace. All right, now I'm going to have my seam be on the spine. So I'm going to decide, do I want hearts on the front cover? Do I want flowers? And I think I'm going to go with the hearts. So this is the front of my journal, the right. So if I hold these this way and then flip them over, whichever one is on the left-hand side is going to be the front of the journal. I hope that makes sense. So just think about your papers. If you're using scrapbook paper, yeah, you're still gonna have to piece it together because the full width of this is more than 12 inches. So just keep that in mind. This is going to be the front cover, the left-hand side. And it is easy to get that confused. Now I am going to use some 2-sided tape, and I get mine on Amazon. And I'm just lining the paper up as close as I can. You could print 2 of the same paper if you really want it to match. So again, up to you. I'm going to try to have as little of a gap in between. And I'm just laying this down. Now, if you would like to see some of the supplies I use, like my tape, my glue, ink, tools, those types of things, I get quite a few of my supplies on Amazon, and I have an Amazon storefront, and I only put things in there that I actually use or own and use. If I don't like something, I won't put it on there for you guys, but you can go take a peek. Amazon, I am an Amazon affiliate. It just means they will pay me a few pennies if you end up making a purchase. All right, I'm not going to even trim this paper down. I'm just going, and now we will miter the corners here in a little bit, but I'm going to use the paper and let it fold over into the inside, and then we will line the inside as well. But I think that's the size I'm going to use. And this is just to hold my paper together. I will pull that up if I remember. Let's hope I remember. But I'm going to make sure I turned this the correct way. Now we're going to add the tape to the actual box. So I am just going to run my tape along. You can use other types of adhesive. I know some people, you know, just use their regular glue, their art glitter glue, PVA glue, whatever kind of, you know, crafting glue that you like. I find when I use the wet glues on something like this, I often get some buckling and those types of things, or some, you know, wavy. So I am going to stay with the two-sided tape for now. And I'm pretty generous with it, not because the paper's going to go anywhere, but again, to keep any big waves and where it kind of pops up on me. I don't like that look. So we are going to be generous with our tape. And that includes on the spine. Now, a lot of people do not like to use the tape where they're going to then sew signatures in. And I haven't decided yet if this is probably going to be an exposed spine. That's my favorite, which does mean my needle will have to go through this sticky adhesive. Glue will dry, and then you don't get the residue left on like your needle. It's a personal preference. I find it gets a little gummy sometimes, and then I just clean it off later. But, you know, if that bothers you, you might want to do a glue on this portion, which is that spine. You know, I'm just trying to tell you guys, you know, different options and things that I've seen that people don't like. But I'm going to just not worry about it and go right through the tape when we sew. Now, if we're doing a hidden spine, you wouldn't be sewing through this anyway, so it probably wouldn't matter. But I like to know, or I really like that exposed spine kind of journal look. But I don't do all of mine that way. Because this is going to be where the two papers come together right in the middle of this, I wanted to be generous with the tape on that spine. I don't want it lifting up. So I am taking my bone folder and we're just doing some burnishing. I'm going to get this down. Now, I have made lots of big journals on videos before and shown you how to make covers and do all that stuff. And every time I think there's like maybe a slightly different take or a new technique or something to help you. So if, you know, if you've watched them before and you're still here, thank you. If you're new to my channel and this is new to you, I hope you find some ideas that will help you. But a lot of times I'll just show journals that I've already made because I've done quite a few videos on this, and then people will say, oh, we want to see you make the journal. We want to see what went into it. So I thought we would, I knew I wanted to do a fun design team project for Silvia this month using this Be My Valentine kit. So I thought, okay, this will be fun. We'll do this. And I love upcycling, recycling, using things, right? So getting to use this cracker box and give it some new life always makes me happy too. I try to save all of these types of things, and I have friends and family that bring me their boxes. Sometimes I have to tell everybody, okay, hold on a minute while I get caught up. You can get overrun by stuff, but at least it's not going in the landfill, right? Okay, now this is where, and we want to pull this one up. This is where we have to be careful and get it as straight and close to even as possible. The world is not going to end if I'm a little to the left, a little to the right, you know, but I do like to try to get it, and I'm eyeballing it. I could have marked it. I'm living on the edge today. So there we go. Now, hopefully paper is going to like being wrapped around this box, and it's gonna fold nicely. I tend to do that just to make sure I don't have any issues, and I do have a nice fold. And I think the same, we can always put a strip of paper here on here. We can put a piece of ribbon, or you can just have the seam there. You know, it really depends on what you want to do. All right, that worked well. I am going to just burnish a little bit. Isn't this pretty? I love the warm colors and that pretty pink and the flowers and hearts. All right, we're doing great. Now, I did a tiny bit of cleaning up in my craft room. And I don't know. There it is. I was gonna say, where did I put my miter tool? This is not necessary, but I use it a lot, and mine is a little grungy. This is a fairly inexpensive tool on Amazon. I think it's like $10 or $11. Mine has adhesive on it, but it helps you make sure you don't get too close to these corners and you get the paper cut off, because we are going to wrap it around. And there's ways to, you know, if you mess up the corner, you know, if it gets too, let me get the right angle to cut this, but like using corner guards, things like that around it. But kind of once you've snipped it too close, you then have a repair job, and it's just a little more challenging. And I find this way I get it right, and it's easy. So if that's something you're interested in, you can take a look. But again, not necessary. You can use a ruler and draw a line. Isn't it the right angle? You can use your scissors to cut it. So, you know, it's okay. I wonder, I've never even thought to measure this to tell you guys. It leaves, basically leaves 1/8 of an inch right there to wrap around that corner. Okay. I'm kind of pleased that I was able to find that. All right, we're doing great. I like to take my bone folder or any kind of scoring kind of tool, and I just score right alongside the cardboard of the box, just so that when I go to fold it around the edge, it just does it nicely. So that's my next step. Okay, now before I start adding tape or adhesive, I like to crease. Now remember, you do have some sticky right there, so be careful. If you really press down, it's gonna stick. But get everything used to being folded. And know that you got nice creases. All right, so now we're gonna add tape to these sections so that we can wrap our box. And I'll show you the little, it's not really a secret, but the little trick that I do to try to help, again, nudge those corners in. I tend to do a piece of tape right next to the cardboard, and then definitely on the edge. If you want to, you know, you could put one in the middle too. That's up to you. I think I'm gonna skip it this time, and we'll see how we do. But I do find this also helps with any kind of buckling or whatever on the front. And just cutting those at the angles, getting it on here. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my content. I love making paper crafting videos, mostly journals and junk journal themed types of things. I do a lot of ephemera, a lot of one-page wonders, all that fun stuff. If you've been with me a while, thank you. You guys are the best. And, you know, it's hard to even express the gratitude, you know, of just being able to do this, you know, at this stage in my life, and having the time and the resources to be able to do what I really enjoy every day. I'm so grateful. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And another, oh, I was going to tell you guys. So I was approached last fall by the Richmond Animal League. So all I'm going to do is start getting these ready to go. Burnish, peel, we'll fold up, and then we'll talk about these corners. So anyway, the Richmond Animal League approached me last fall to see if I wanted to donate like a gift basket or a piece of art or something for their big gala event that's in February. And they do a silent auction, and then, you know, for businesses that donate items, they'll feature, you know, the gift that they donate on their Facebook page, that kind of thing. But it's, you know, I believe in animal rescue. I love all animals, but especially little doggies and little kitties. So I said, sure. And I was supposed to have my basket to them. Well, they said they wanted everything by mid-January, so I guess I'm not really late. It's the 16th. With everything going on, we're going to... Okay, let me show you real quick, and then I'll finish telling that story. The corner here, if you just kind of nudge it over just a little bit, I don't know if you guys can see that. When you fold it up, it makes a really nice, neat fold. So that's, I nudge over the corner, and then we're going to fold this one up. When we get to the last one, we'll have to nudge both corners. Okay. So with everything going on, I completely forgot to put my basket together. And luckily today I was looking through just, you know, older emails and seeing where I was at with some different projects. And I realized, even though I'd set a reminder, I'd put it on the calendar, all of those things, I forgot. And I think it's just with everything, you know, I was in Alabama with my aunts, and then with my husband's health issues and surgery, it just completely slipped my mind. So luckily I remembered. So I've been running around today I have the items, you know, getting the items together, and now I'm gonna, when I'm done with this video, I'm gonna make it look cute and then hopefully pop it over there tomorrow, which is the 17th. And I don't think it'll be too late. The event is on the 8th of February, so hopefully we're okay. But anyway, that was kind of a little exciting today when I realized, I haven't done that. All right, here we go. We're going to nudge both corners because we're at the last little piece. Just kind of get it over there just a little bit. Make sure it looks good. This one needs to come over. There we go. And then we will take a look and see how our cover's looking. Ugh. All right. Now, the other thing that I really want to do with this journal is, instead of, and I said we were going to, you know, do the cover, which we will, but I'm thinking I'm going to add, got to find another box, but we'll do this in part 2 of the video. I want to add another box so that when you look at it, it's sort of like, and I've been wanting to do a large lap book, but I just haven't had the time. But what I'm thinking is maybe a piece that'll come this way, another spine in this way, and I'll have to figure out how it's going to open, and we'll piece the two together. Would that be fun? I think it would. I might even go grab a box right now, and let's see if we can at least get the box cut, and then I could cover it off camera because I'll cover it the same way, and then we'll attach it. But the last thing to do for this is I will cut a piece of paper to line both of these sides. I haven't decided yet if I want to just use maybe some nice vintage sheet music or book page. The spine I'll do in the same paper, just so that it looks nice. And I might even just use one of these pages. So we'll just see, you know. I may want some more contrast though. So let me, I'm not going to turn the video off. I'm going to grab another box. I think I have another one. Okay, I grabbed two. I have a pancake box. I have a pasta box. I don't know where these came from. They're a little different size, but I can cut them to the right size. I wonder if being smaller, then it could tuck inside. Maybe that would work. Let's try that. Here we are on the fly, designing an interactive journal just because I wanted to take it up a notch. Okay, so we're gonna set this one aside for just a moment. We're gonna get this box taken apart. Now it has this window, and I remember thinking it was so you could see the pasta in there. I remember thinking it might be fun to try to use that, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. We're gonna just use the same section as we did with the cracker box. Here we go. But it's gonna be a little smaller, and I think it'll be a little different than what I just described, but I think we'll be able to tuck it inside, and it's gonna be kind of cute once I figure out how we're going to attach it. Oops. Okay. I have never, I did my like 15-minute on the fly video for you guys, and I've done little things like that, but I have never embarked on saying, oh, wait, let's just change the whole idea. Just have something different. Okay, here we go. Okay. Didn't even warn you guys at the beginning of the video that we were gonna go way off script here. But this is how I craft. When I'm just in my craft room, I play around. I try folding paper different ways. I do watch a lot of other creators and videos, and I get lots of great ideas, which is super fun too. But when I'm making something new, I kind of just have at it, you know? All right, so this is my idea, and it may be too small, is that we might have a section that will attach right here or here, you know, front or back cover. And when you open, so when you're looking at the journal, right, so it'll look like this, and there'll be this section right here. And then when you open it up, then this one would open up too and be not, and hopefully nice and flat. Now I may not do like a full chunky signature in here. I may do something a little smaller, but I like that the spine is about the same width. We're gonna try it, why not? Let's just see if it works. I don't know if you guys followed what I was trying to say. Let me use a clip and see if that helps make it make sense. All right, I'm definitely gonna have it centered, but we'll just pretend for right now that's centered. I did it wrong. It'll be this way, right? This is gonna be fun. All right, it'll live in there like that. So when you look at the journal, it's gonna look like this, but then this entire section will open and this one will flip open. I think that'll be fun. A lot of them have like two, like you have two smaller ones. I think that's how the lap books go. You know, it's a skinnier spine, but then two would fit in here. But I'm gonna do it this way. Why not? It's my journal. Okay, so to do that, this is why I didn't want to spend the time yet covering, because this is probably going to cover it up. This one needs to be fully covered as well. So let's see if we have some paper that would look pretty with this one. We have those roses that I'm kind of feeling. Maybe these two. Those two seem to blend together well to me. Okay. And again, the paper wasn't quite big enough to use and landscape, and I certainly could have, let's see, it's definitely big enough this way. We could just add a strip. Let's do that. And we'll just kind of decide maybe about that section. But I want it to be, I want this, maybe, we're going to do it like this, and it'll make sense in a second. And I'm going to make this be the front cover, and it'll come to here, and we'll only need a small section of this paper, which we'll cut off here in a minute. All right. So I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm going to tape these two pieces together just to hold them nice and secure. And I'm going to wrap the journal. Now I'm thinking I may do this part off camera and then just come back for part 2. And it'll give me a little time to think about how to attach the journal together. And we'll attach the journal and then put the signatures in. So I think that's going to be the plan. This paper will get cut off and it will just wrap the same way I just did this part of the cover. All right. So I think that's about as far as we're going to go for part 1 of the video. I hope you guys will come back and see what other crazy ideas I have for this lovely Be My Valentine journal I'm making. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good one until next time.